Oh, you know it is school. I know. They burn hot.
There it is, right there. That's the beat. That's westbound.
Oh, yeah.
So, oh yeah, that's that I drive. That's on the.
Oh, man, you know that traffic is a mess.
Let's see right there, live view. Oh yeah. Oh man, it's
I've not been on it during high traffic times personally.
Hello. Yeah, Mr. Green. Mr. Green, I'm actually getting ready to start a 4 o'clock meeting. You were the one that called me earlier, right? Okay, yeah. We could start a 4 o'clock meeting, and it may last probably about an hour or so, a little over an hour, somewhere thereabouts. And let me call you right back. Call me when you get out of your meeting. Let's try it again. Yeah, we're gonna connect. It's meant to be, so we're gonna make it happen. All right. Good evening. I'd like to call the meeting of the North Little Rock Planning Commission to order. Would you please call the roll?
Banks,
Present.
Glasgow,
Here.
Chambers, Foster, Phillips, Pierce, Wallace, White, and Chairman Clifton.
Here.
You do have a quorum.
Thank you. Motion made and seconded. We excuse those not present. All in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Thank you. Under administrative, item number 8, which is a subdivision item at Lipkins Lot B, RR replat at 5401 MacArthur Drive. If you are here for that item on the agenda, it will not be heard today. So we will go right into the next item on the agenda, is the approval of the minutes. Minutes have been submitted to you. Motion made and seconded, they be approved as submitted. All in favor, aye? Aye. Opposed? Thank you. We'll move right into the Planning Commission hearing items. First item is special use case 2024-13 to allow special use to allow a auto repair and auto sales in a C3 zoning district at 4701 East Broadway. You have been presented to you a letter from someone that is in the Rose City area. They are in opposition to this. Is the applicant here? Please come up and give us your name. Okay. Okay, give us your name again.
My name is Frederick Moore.
Okay. You're wanting to put an auto body and repair. Have you saw the conditions to consider this? Have you been supplied a copy of that?
Yes. Yes, I have.
You have?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you, are you, okay with those conditions that were made to you?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this application? We talked at our last meeting about how this was divided up, and it is redrawn here. So can you kind of explain to us, Mr. Spencer, how this works out here? You've got two tracks. Part of it is going to be rezoned, part of it is not. Can you kind of explain to us what we got going on here?
The request, it will be for a special use. So the zoning underneath will stay the same. So we're not changing the zoning. It'll just be a special use, and the special use will be just for the front part of the second lot from the corner. So as he's shown here, what's in the red hatch will be the restricted area where he can do business. Yep. Or in this case, park cars outside is what we're talking about. So he will not be able to use the back part of that second lot for this business.
Okay,
I,
go ahead.
like on the side of the building, the whole other side of the building is just laying all the way back with a fence around it. It's 4703
Right. So we're talking, this, you're not going to be parking cars back here.
on 4701.
Look up
No,
there.
Not at all.
Okay, that's what we're talking about. You're not parking cars back in that area.
What area is that?
No, that area there is not part of this property.
No, I see.
Well, that's what I'm trying to get him to confirm that he's not going to be parking back there.
Only like I will take the cars off the street at night and park them behind the gate so they can't get in them. And it's all concrete back there too.
Right.
Behind the
So,
fence is
can you go back to the other drawing? The middle drawing there, the red hatched, is where you can do your business. All that red hatched area, which is paved, is where you can do your business. You can't park in the grass or back in that back area.
Yeah, like the car.
I mean, this is the drawings you provided to us, so this is what you asked us to do.
This area right here is the fenced area, which is where you're talking about moving the cars at night to lock them up. Okay. And then all of this is the open area that's paved currently, right, where you're going to be having them during the daytime. Yes,
If y'all will look in your packet, you'll see the outline in red, and you'll see a little building right behind that yellow line. That was the previous office that was being used for this car lot. So what he's proposing is trying to put this car lot in front of this office building here, but not being able to use any of that land where the office is. It's not practical what he's asking to do.
But it's not paved, so he can't use it unless he paves it.
I understand.
See, it's like a whole section back there. It looked like it's not paved because grass, but now if you look at it, we ain't cleared all the grass off where you can see nothing but the pavement. So we had to take shovels and dig up the layer because grass, it grew over the pavement. So back there behind that fence, it looked like it's grass, but if you go down Broadway today, you'll see we done digged all the grass up. Now it's just pavement back there.
What about the little office building there?
That's the building I was gonna use for the car lot.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But on this diagram, you're not asking for that little office building part of the land to be used.
I didn't know that.
That's what I'm talking about. This is not a true representation of what he's asking for. Mr. Chambers?
Got this drawing also.
the applicant drew this. And it's 120 feet shown here, the distance, the short distance between those two lots.
Mhm.
And I don't know, I don't see, I don't know how far 120 feet is. Is the depth off of Broadway the longest or the shortest?
The depth off of
See,
Broadway,
does that northern line, is it on the other side of the little building he wants to use as his state?
no, sir, it's not.
It is not.
No, sir. The line that going across the front to your right lines up with the existing fence on the building that he's shown there. And that line is probably 20 feet in front of the building that he's trying to use for his office. So, and the reason I'm saying this, and the reason I know a little bit about it, is Alderman Robinson had told me before that she would never agree to have the back part rezoned so that they could use it for a car lot in the front. So I'm just going by that past information and what I know of the property itself. So,
This particular, Mr. Chairman, this particular request is for a special use on the C3 portion, but a car lot is allowed by right in C4?
no, sir.
No, it's not.
I-1, 2, and 3. I-1, 2, and 3.
I-1, I-2, and I-3. I heard you say I-1 and 3.
Sorry.
So, like I say, in,
Do we have an unclear application that's not doing what the applicant wants?
that's exactly
And
what we've got.
Maybe staff needs to go out and see how much is concrete now and things like that.
If you'll look at this diagram in our packet, you'll see that you have your yellow border around it. You'll see in the packet that he has given us, what he is asking for is the building in a straight line across. So that's two conflicting areas that he's asking to be rezoned. So,
Well, Mr. Chairman, did you recommend that the applicant ask for postponement and maybe get with staff and we get a clearer image of what you want to do?
I would certainly advise that if he wanted to do that, or maybe you can fill in what you want to say to make it clear.
Well, basically, like, if you go back to the top one in the middle, right here, well, this first one, you see how, where the yellow line is right there? The yellow line can go all the way to where it go across the building. We cleared all that out, that's concrete. And like, right up here is the front on this section. That's where I park the cars close to the street. But at night, I'll put them back behind the fence right there on that concrete. So if you'll run it from here to the building, and the rest of the land back there, I don't have to use it, because that's grass. The rest of it is grass anyway, but the upper part, all that is concrete. We cleared all that out. So it's concrete all the way to the front door of that building.
I understand.
And the rest of it behind that building is grass on that side. It's a concrete strip run down the middle of it. And then it's grass on the other side where it got a dog kennel in it. So, and I'm not using that back there anyway, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't even going back there anyway.
But, Mr. Moore, if you're planning on using the building that's there, not the shop building, the other building that sits behind it on the part you're trying to get rezoned, it is not on the property you're trying to get rezoned.
I think, Chairman, it may have been us that drew the line incorrectly, because his line does go straight across, and our line is the one that does the jogging. So I'm thinking maybe our graphics person may have drawn that line incorrectly. No. The advertisement ran for the entire property.
So if we can agree on a line, then we can proceed, but we still need to go back.
And then he and I can work on the legal for the ordinance, but the legal description, or the legal that was ran in the paper and the notice that was given to the property owners was for even the back part.
So my question to staff is, if the line to the north of the existing shop was extended all the way across to the east, would that include the little building that the applicant wants to use as his sale barn?
No, sir.
You're saying no.
I'm saying no.
There's a tag in front of it, so I can't visualize precisely what it does. And I'm kind of seeing it at an angle, but in the first image, Mr. Clifton, in the first image, if you look at it, there is no tag identifying anything. Right. And it almost looks as if that line cuts across the back corner of the sales line.
Okay.
I can see that it's likely paved just by the distortion in what the property.
Right.
Google Earth grass image, okay? The grass doesn't grow is the same over concrete as it does over dirt. So I'll agree that that's likely concrete. I just don't think it's true that the little building is within the area you want permission to use. Don't get me wrong, I'm disposed toward giving you the permission, but I'm also a box checker and I like everything to be right.
Yes, sir. Well, that fence behind the paint shop part, that fence runs straight across to that building, right behind it.
And it runs to the building.
Yeah, it run like it's gonna catch the far corner of it, the last ending on this side of the building, it'll run right across to it like that. But it won't like hit it right dead on. The front porch will still be in front of that line.
Okay, so you're saying that line would cut the building in half, so to speak,
No, it won't. It'll cut right behind the building.
like inches behind it.
Yeah, it'll probably have about this much space. Yeah. Yeah.
Or diagram. Chairman Clifton, if I may, my 2 cents would be we need to postpone this so we have an actual diagram of what we're voting on. I don't think that we have a proper
That's correct.
image that is up right now. If the applicant wants to do so, that would be what I feel most comfortable doing. Obviously, you guys may have different thoughts, but I just feel like we don't even have a proper picture that the city has developed and is presenting as to what we're voting on.
Okay.
I was under the impression that red hash area is what he's wanting to, say, park vehicles. Go back to that hash.
Way across, all the way across. See where it cuts off?
So, yeah. The original red hatch was what we thought was paved before they removed the dirt that he was talking about. So that's where that drawing came from. So the removing the dirt is something new since we did this drawing. So are you okay with us postponing and getting a better drawing and meeting with you on that?
Sure.
Okay. So when's the subdivision? You'll need to come to the subdivision meeting.
It'll be next Wednesday, next Wednesday at 2 o'clock in our office. I'll send you an email.
Okay, Mr.
Next
Morris,
week.
are you asking to postpone this? Well, hold it. Mr. Banks?
So, should it's necessary to postpone it because staff drew this, right?
Correct.
And really the intent was that where it has the jog in, that line's supposed to go straight out, make a box, one big box. That's really what it's supposed to be, right?
Correct. That's what he's asking. Yes. Yes.
That's the way it's advertised, right?
Mhm.
So why would we delay that with just a minor change in that right there? For us? Looks like to me that we can move on to this, and I hope it's after. Yeah, because, and maybe staff between now
May I ask why he needed to come to subdivision next week? Did he go before this meeting?
He was postponed last month because the drawing was a little confusing. And so it got postponed till today. And so we're still, when did we receive this drawing?
No, right after the meeting.
Okay.
It's just we drew it wrong.
Okay.
Okay.
We drew,
Mr. Chambers?
Yes.
That's the drawing he gave us. That drawing is correct right there.
Okay.
Dealing with that right there.
Mr. Chambers?
I have only one question, and that is for staff to verify that the building he wants to use is in fact on the piece of land that we're taking care of for him, okay? I mean, without that building on his land, he's kind of shot in the foot, okay? So, the building is shown inside the property, right? There's a tiny building in the upper right corner of that drawing. He says it's within inches of being inside that box. I don't see what building.
Mr. White?
There's a second building.
So that's the
It's covered by
confusion
the
is,
tag.
Okay.
the building he's talking about is not on his drawing.
Right, it's not
So
that
that's
building
part
you
of our
see.
confusion over the last while.
See, like, when you show that first, you see the building in the camera.
So there's a real little shack right in the corner right there.
Where it said 1D and number 2. You see the building right.
And he
like,
says it's
if you go
inches
to-
from the
go to
line.
the very first.
Inches from the line, he says. It's right there.
Against the back fence. Yeah, that's the building.
What about that building?
He says it's on the side.
Yeah, that line goes straight to the back of that building.
That's what I'm saying. We have a problem.
What's the story about that building? Or what's significant about that building?
The building is it's the dealership's office. It's the sales office for the car lot. Yeah.
But it's not on this property?
Yeah, it's on the property. They just drew it where it's not in the line, but it's straight across on the property. And it's all concrete right there.
Mr. White?
I personally think that we made a mistake and then. What? I'm for approving it today. I think we've already delayed the man and plus, remember, we're a recommending board. That's gonna give y'all time to go out to make sure it's out. And then it's gonna go in front of city council and city council will make that determination. And it is not a rezone, it's a special use. So I think we should, I'm voting for him today. I'll vote for, you know, I'm not for postponing it. That's 60 days, he's not making money and that's our fault.
Mr. Chambers?
If you guys feel good with it and feel good with the explanation, I completely understand where Mr. White is coming from. And so you guys are good to go.
Yeah, yeah.
You're not doing anything wrong. Yeah. No.
Okay, I have asked you before the conversation, did you want to postpone or do you want to proceed?
Want to proceed?
Okay. So we will vote on the application as presented, but as I mentioned to start with, you have a letter in opposition to it. So, Ms. Chambers?
The letter points. Damaged building that will be. That's what the letter writers say. Have you done repairs to the?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I had a guy right here repairing it. He just did the floors and raised it up and all that.
Okay, any other comments from anyone in the audience on this application? On the application as presented, please call the roll.
Banks? Yes. Blasco?
Yes.
Chambers? Foster? Yes. Phillips?
Yes.
Wallace?
Yes.
White? And Chairman Clifton?
No. Your application was approved. See Mr. Spencer, and he can tell you what to do next.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is special use case number 2024-15 to allow auto detailing in a C5 zoning district at 815 East Broadway. And again, in your packet, you will see a letter from the East Argenta Neighborhood Association in opposition to this application. Give us your name for the record, please.
Kevin Watkins.
Okay. Have you looked at the conditions to consider?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Do you agree with those conditions?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And Chairman Clifton, I just handed the applicant the letter that we received so he could look at it.
I'm sorry.
We received a letter related to this application, and I just handed the applicant my copy so he could read it. So he may be
Okay.
reading over that right now.
Okay. You have, all the commissioners have the letter in there, and I drive by this property pretty regularly. And the items that are mentioned here, I see as I drive by. So have you read your letter? Yeah,
The one that you just gave me?
yes. The operation currently is used as a daily hangout spot. Can you address any of these items that she's talking about?
Yes, sir.
Pardon?
Yes, that's actually going on.
These things are going on there.
The four-wheelers, riding the four-wheelers, the kids riding the four-wheelers.
What about the hangout spot?
They actually working on the four-wheelers while they're there. They've been working on the four-wheelers. I was actually given the,
Billings, other activities, loud music, repairing cars, piles of trash on the premises?
well, there's not been any loud music been playing. There hasn't been any loud music playing or anything.
Okay. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak on this application? Any comments from any of the commissioners? Mr. White?
Is the business there now?
Not supposed to be. If it is, he's operating without a business license.
They are operating, washing cars as you go by.
Well, we did get okay to do mechanic work there.
They can do auto repair, but
Okay,
it's not auto detailing.
Okay. So he just asking on this for to add detailing?
Right.
Okay. And so what about the loud noise the neighbors are talking about and the four-wheelers racing up and down? Are you gonna stop that?
Yes, I can stop that.
And we have code enforcement, so. I mean, I can't see where not allowing detailing is gonna prevent the four-wheelers since he's already allowed to do mechanic job anyway, so. I just think the neighborhood should have code enforcement's phone number
And the police.
and the police. So that's just my 2 cents.
Any other comments from anyone in the audience? Any other comments from any of the commissioners? Mr. White, Mr. Chambers?
Yes, sir. But you plan trying to get anyone to enforce anything.
Mr. White?
With our North Rock Police Department, I can assure you they're gonna walk over and have a little one-on-one with them. They may not arrest them right there the first time, but the second time, something's gonna happen. And if he says they're out driving in the street, that's gonna be good enough for that. So I disagree with you on that, just because I've called policemen on things that have happened, and they didn't see it happen, and it was still taken care of. So and again, remember, he still has the mechanic place anyway that allows the four-wheelers to be worked on. So by us denying him the auto washing is not going to change the problem that we have unless the police or code enforcement fixes it. So I think you can fix it.
Sir, because after we get through working on it, we'll test drive them. Yeah, after we get through working on it, we'll test drive them to make sure that they're working, so. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
On the question that's been called, on the application as submitted, please call the roll.
Banks? Yes. Glasgow?
Yes.
Chambers?
Yeah, why not? Mr. White said it's okay.
Foster? Yes. Phillips?
Yes.
Wallace?
Yes.
White? Yes. Chairman Clifton?
No. Your application was approved. See Mr. Spencer, and he can tell you what you might do next. Mr. Banks?
Point of clarification, Phillips is in the house. We're not asking, acknowledging him today?
I called his name. Twice.
Okay, thank you. See Mr. Spencer, and he can tell you what you might do next. Okay. Okay, item number 3 is a conditional use to allow an auto repair in a C3 zoning district at 3820 Lookout Road. Is the applicant here? Sir, give us your name, please.
My name is Aaron Robinson. I'm with Bond Consulting Engineers.
Okay. Have you had a chance to look over the conditions to consider?
I have.
Okay. Is there any that you would like to make a comment on?
No.
Okay. No,
No.
no, this is up on JFK, right where you turn to go to Thomas Engineering.
North of Daylight Zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, y'all already been repairing cars in the Lake Hill shop.
But he's trying to,
Just so you know.
okay.
For 3 months, because I called Cole.
Okay, so you are wanting to relocate from the existing building where they're at on JFK to build a new building here?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you're trying to get done?
Yes, sir.
Okay, gotcha. Ms. Chambers?
Yes, sir. One of the big issues here, and I'm sure we'll vote on it, is the hillside, that the retaining wall in the back.
It's its own item.
About any kind of engineering evidence.
It has its own item.
Not saying what engineering, because nothing was sent to the city. I believe you made a report, to the best of your ability. Has the city engineer reviewed your report? What is his conclusion?
He agreed with the report that was provided to you in your packet. And there was a little memo that, kind of at the very last sentence, was that as long as the recommendations of the structural engineer were met, the city engineer was agreeable.
But there is more information in the other cases that's coming up about this.
We'll wait.
Yes.
Right?
So are we going to continue to park on Lake Hill Shopping Center's parking lot?
I have
Repair
no
vehicles?
idea what my client is doing or where he's operating. I
Should've told
can't
me
answer
that.
that question.
Yeah. Well, that's where he's operating.
I mean, I represent him as the engineer to move to this facility. If he's doing something somewhere else, that is out of my purview.
Okay, I was just curious.
I have no idea.
Any
Don't know
other
how to
comment?
respond to that.
Any other comments from anyone in the audience? Any other comments from any of the commissioners? On the application, please call the roll.
Chairman Clifton?
Yes.
Debbie Ross, Alderperson Debbie Ross had called. She was wanting to attend, but's not able to attend, but she wanted me to just say that she'd received some phone calls from the neighbors on the backside that had concerns about the wall and everything, but she wanted me make sure that I said that in the meeting and everything, but she was wanting to be here, but was not able to.
Okay, very good. Yes, sir. Come up and give us your name, please.
Thank you for your ear. My name's Jim Nettles. I have property next door to the, to the place that they're talking about building. The back of that property is a vacant lot. There's a natural slope that goes down into the Methodist, or the church in the background. And they've cut the wall in. Well, there's a picture of it right there. I only have one concern, and only this one, is that the front of the property on Lookout seems to be an excessive elevation compared to the back part where they built the wall.
Mr. Nettles,
Nettles, right, correct. Mhm.
that will be addressed
Understood.
in
That was my
another
question.
item on the
Yep.
agenda. Anybody else? Any other comments on this item? This is on conditional use to allow auto repair in a C3 zoning at 3820 Lookout Road. Please call the roll.
Banks? Yes. Glasgow?
Yes.
Chambers?
Yeah.
Foster? That was a yes.
Charlie?
Phillips? Wallace? Yes. White?
No.
Chairman Clifton?
No. Your application was approved. You see Mr. Spencer, and he can tell you what you might do next. Okay, Mr. Chambers, item number 4, subdivision.
Yeah.
1 through 14. 14.
Items 1 through 14.
Okay. Anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this application?
Yes, sir. This is Aaron Robinson with Bond Consulting Engineers again. I'm here if you have any other questions.
Okay. Your client has looked at this list of recommendations from
Yes,
you.
sir.
Okay, and he is in agreement with these?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this application?
Isn't this where he needs to speak? The other man that was speaking?
No, next one for him.
I'm John Poundell with Thomas Engineering Company. I have a question about the parking on this. Is there going to be sufficient parking on that?
Mr. Robinson, the question was asked about sufficient parking for this. According to the regulations for subdivision, do you qualify for that?
I don't remember anybody ever asking that question. It is a automobile repair shop, and so their vehicles are inside, and they have 2 employees, and so they needed, 2 parking spots and whatever would be inside the building. And I believe I had 3 or 4 parking spaces. Here's going to be the issue, and I'll just go ahead and I'll be as open with you as I possibly can. If you read the report on the retaining wall, the report said that the building can't be within 16 feet of the wall. The building right now is closer than 16 feet to the wall. So the site plan is going to have to be adjusted to modify or to reflect that recommendation from the structural engineer. I have not done that because we have the variance of the wall height, and depending on what happens with the variance of the wall height will dictate what needs to happen next. So I'm not trying to put the cart before the horse or anything, but I'm trying to be as transparent with you as I possibly can.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Robinson. Mr. White?
So how many parking spots does it need to have?
We're more than what's shown there, probably, so probably 5 or 6. But we're looking at asking to postpone this so we can get a better site plan to determine where the building is to the wall and the parking spots and setbacks and that kind of stuff. So that's would be our recommendation to, now that we found out that the building is too close to the wall, or possibly, we need some better drawings or that are engineered than what's up there. Is that correct? Would that be correct?
Yes, and we're fine with postponing this.
Except for you would like the recommendation on the wall.
Correct, but that's after this, correct?
Right.
That's on the
Yes.
variance next.
Yes,
That'll be on the public hearing.
yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, on this subdivision,
I move for postponement.
motion made and seconded that this item be postponed until our next meeting. Any comments on that? Mr. Foster?
This was a Design Development Committee meeting approval. Does that have to come back before that committee?
The site, we would need to see the changes if it's drastic enough. So at the moment, we wouldn't know.
Okay.
So, but if there's any waivers, it's got to come back to the design review committee. So if
I'm fine with you guys doing
yeah.
that.
So if 6 spots are required and they can only get 3, then it's going to come back to design review. So,
Okay.
but if they can meet all the requirements, then I'm going to say possibly it does not have to go
I
back.
agree. Okay, thank you.
Okay, on the, Mr. Banks?
There was some calculations attached. I didn't see them. Maybe I missed something. Either.
I couldn't hear you for whatever's going on out that door.
On the report, structure report, it says that there were some calculations attached.
Craig Evans, which I thought was going to be here today, is the structural engineer that did that report and did the original design of the retaining wall.
I most likely did not copy the entire 26 pages and put it in your package. Only a couple of you would really be interested.
And don't copy front.
I can do that part.
Okay, on the replat and site plan review application, go ahead and call the roll on this, please.
Wait,
We were
tabling it. We're
postponing that.
I'm sorry, yes, postpone. Will be postponed. Okay? All in favor of votes to postpone? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Item number 5 is a public hearing for the Hackett Place addition, Lot 15R Hillside Regulation Variance Request at 3820 Lookout Road. Okay, Mr. Nettles, you can come and give us your comments.
So thanks. Again, Jim Nettles. My property is right next door to that. It's a vacant lot. The back of it, there's a natural slope that goes off into a gully. Where they've cut the wall, they've cut into the natural slope of the hill there. And between my property, which still has the natural trees and the slope down to the gully, and the shortness, the front of the improved property at the street level seems to be considerably higher, just eyeballing it, than the back of it. I'm concerned that the water running off the front of that property is going to hit my natural slope in my backyard, and I'm afraid I'm going to come by one day and see my lot in the parking lot of the Methodist Church. Having said that, that may not happen, may never happen, but I'd like to be on record as stating concern about it. So,
Okay. Mr. Chambers?
the address for the, is actually where they're operating right now. It's 4120. My home address is 406 Chimney Rock Drive in North Little Rock. 4120 JFK is the front property, and then the lot behind that I also own too, that's next door to this property where they built the wall. Yep, yep.
Is there anyone else in the audience that would like to speak at this public hearing on this variance? Commissioners, or Mr. White, go ahead.
Should we postpone this also for 30 days, or is that not necessary?
They're asking for this to be voted on, so he knows that the wall's allowed, so that
Got
he
it.
can design the building part of it. So
Okay, thank you.
we sort of got to do a step process.
Thank you. Yeah, that's fine. Thanks for the explanation, though.
Part,
I want to make sure that staff, runs
City
this
engineer is here if you want to ask him
That-
any questions. City engineer is here.
I don't think I don't have a question for him. I just want to make sure he reviews
He
it.
is back there.
Come up, well, I'll talk to him. But
No,
I mean,
yeah, he
as long as,
doesn't.
I think it's the concern, the drainage concern ought to be, make sure they're aware of that concern.
I have a
That's all I'm saying.
I have a question I'd like to ask him. Please come up.
Come on, David.
They're going to have to resubmit civil drawings and everything with the new plan. So it's
Okay,
going to
good.
come back through subdivision as an updated case,
I
basically.
think that will be dependent on this
In
vote.
the memorandum, give us your name for the record.
Sure, David Cook, Chief City Engineer.
In one of the paragraphs here, it says that the presently constructed wall is 11 foot 4 inches, still needs to be raised 2 foot to a level of 13.4 in height. Also, in here, it says that the bottom base of the wall that's constructed there now is improperly built and will have to be taken out and redone. Can you tell us a little bit about what's going on with that?
Okay. Yeah, I guess at some point, I don't know when, do you know, Aaron, when this sucker was constructed? Okay. So I guess at some point they used an inadequate reinforcing fabric at the base of the wall, and they're gonna have to dig down to come back, rip that out, and come back with something new. But essentially, it's gonna be 2 feet taller than it is right now. And as far as the grading goes, I haven't seen a grading plan yet, and whenever that comes through, we'll evaluate the drainage at that point.
How are we going to make sure that that's done, that come back and fix that problem?
They won't get a building permit until he reviews
Okay,
the
got it.
civil drawings.
Yeah, when they add to, it's not so much toppling the wall over, but blow out at the bottoms, what I've seen when the walls get that high.
We've got, Ms. Chambers?
Mr. Wood, do you
We, in our office, do not inspect private walls. We just approve the plans that are submitted. So if something's done other than what we approved, that's a different issue. But we don't inspect, my office does not inspect anything on private property.
So,
Correct. Correct.
correct.
We can do that.
Yeah,
I mean,
so their engineer will submit some drawings to us. We're not engineers, so we'll ask
And
city engineer, does this look correct? And they'll say yes or no, and then we'll issue a permit.
And we can, if,
There'll be a new drawing signed by their engineer, stamped by their engineer, and saying it was done correctly.
Any other comments from any of the commissioners? It looks like that we have approved a conditional use for auto repair, approved a recommendation, it looks like that we have postponed a replat and a site plan review for that. And it looks like now we are going to vote on a variance for a wall that we don't know what it's gonna be. So we're in a public hearing here, so has anybody else got any comments they'd like to make on this?
Exactly what is the variance? I mean, is it to have to have the? 'cause we got a
Variance
hillside-
shouldn't, the word variance shouldn't be in there. It's a hillside cut.
That's what I'm thinking. It's not
Yeah,
a
so the
variance, it's a
the word
hillside-
variance should not be
Allow for a
there.
hillside cut.
Yeah, correct.
Okay,
Got it.
okay, is there anyone else that would like to speak in this public hearing on this application? If not, we'll close the public hearing, and we will proceed to vote on item 5, which says a hillside regulation variance request, but it is a hillside cut request. And we're going to talk about approving that, not knowing what it is. So,
So can we just make a motion to amend this to say hillside cut? Instead of hillside?
If you want,
Instead of
if you
saying
feel-
variance.
Yeah, if you feel the need to, yes.
That way we're covered legal.
Sure.
So that's what I think we
Good
should do.
idea. Second.
motion made and seconded that we omit the word variance. So it'll be hillside regulation request. Is that what we're saying? Hillside regulation request,
If we add or hillside cut regulations,
hillside
Yeah.
cut regulation.
and then we're using the same term that's in the ordinance.
Okay. Okay, any other comments on this application? Please call the roll.
Banks? Yes. Plasko?
yes,
Chambers?
Situation where asking for. Yes.
Foster?
Yes.
Phillips? Yes. Wallace?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Chairman Clifton?
No. Your application was approved, so you can see Mr. Spencer, and he can tell you where to start working next. Thank you.
And we'll see you next month.
Mr. Clifton, you're just being hard to please.
I'm 3 for 3. Okay, moving right along. We'll go to item number 6, subdivision. Mr. Chambers?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Considered item SD 2024-68, Martin's Addition, Lot 3, Block 48, site plan review for the development of a 4-unit townhouse at 814 North Magnolia Street. Applicant is present. Read item 1 to the left of subsection. Design Review Committee recommends approval.
Okay, is the applicant here? Give us your name for the record.
Vernon Williams with Garnett Engineering.
Okay. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on the application? Any comments from any of the commissioners? All in favor of the application as submitted, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Thank you.
Item 7 is SD 2024-69, Northshore Business Park, Lot 4R, Block 3, replat, at 51 Northshore Drive. The applicant present agreed to items 1 through 10 of subsection. Design Review Committee recommends approval.
Give us your name for the record, please.
Chairman, my name's Tim Daters. I'm a consultant engineer with White Daters and Associates.
Okay,
We don't really have anything to present unless you have some questions. This is a lot combination so that Montrose can expand their base of operations in North Shore Business Park.
thank you. Anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this application? Any comments from any of the commissioners? All in favor of the application as presented, aye?
aye,
Opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Chang?
Item 8 was postponed.
We'll go to item number 9, rezone case 2024-29, a rezoning from R4 to C6 to allow the development of 14 units of multifamily at 804 North Olive Street, lots 4 and 5 of the Cunningham addition. Is the applicant here?
Yes, Chairman Clifton, Thomas Pownell with Thomas Engineering, representing the applicant.
Mr. Pownell, you have been supplied a copy with the comments from the Site Plan Review Committee. Any comments on those?
No, sir.
Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this application? Any comments from any commissioners? Mr. Chambers?
For the staff, we are using the intent of C6 by continuously rezoning for multifamily, using commercial zone 6 for multifamily development. We've seen that over and over about the last 2 years, where C6 is used so they can shoehorn 50 units in a 50 by 50 foot lot.
C6 is for downtown zoning, which allows apartments and houses. So I would say, no, we're not abusing it. The C6 is going to allow an apartment building to be built at 0 lot line as opposed to regular zoning, which will require 15 to 25 foot back, so.
We're still meeting our requirements of landscape.
Correct, yeah, all that will still be met.
Thank you.
Whenever this C6 zoning classification was enacted, I think we were all hoping to see the density that we're getting, but I surely don't think that we expected the density that we're getting to what it is entailing about the added density that has come. Of course, you know, we love North Little Rock. We want to see it grow.
Everything's fine until they rezone the lot next door to Norman Cliff and C6.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Mr. Banks?
Yeah, on that drawing, it's just a typo, Donna. On that drawing, the call out note needs to be correct. Okay. Says the result from the C6, it's opposite, isn't that correct? The drawing, the one that showed the call out, right there. That one on the right. Okay. Look at that note, I think it's just typo. Am I correct? It's from,
Gosh, that was a good catch.
yeah, I do that all the time.
Good job.
Okay.
Thank you.
We really appreciate you today.
Okay, on the application, any comments from any other comments from anybody in the audience? Comments from any of the commissioners? On the application, please call the roll.
Banks? Yes. Glasgow?
Yes.
Chambers? Foster?
Yes.
Phillips?
Yes.
Wallace?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Chairman Clifton?
Yes. Your application was approved. See Mr. Spencer, and he can tell you what to do next. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 10, Mr. Chambers.
Yes, sir. The design review committee then considered item SB 24-22 Cunningham addition lot 6R, block 47, replat, site plan review to allow 14-unit multifamily addition at 804 North Olive Street. The applicant is present, read items 1 through 11 in subsection, and the design review committee recommends approval.
Anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this application? You have been submitted a copy of the Site Plan Review Committee's recommendations, comments, or do you have any comments on those?
No, sir, we agree.
Any comments from any of the commissioners? All in favor? As presented, aye? Aye. Opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 11, conditional use to allow a hotel in a C6 zoning district at 118 East Washington Avenue. Is the applicant here?
John Pownell with Thomas Engineering, here to answer any questions you might have.
Okay, you have been submitted a copy of the conditions to consider. Any comments on those?
No, sir.
You have been submitted in your packet a staff summary, and this has been debated back and forth for about 3 months. So I assume that everyone has enough information and you're ready to vote. Are there any comments? Any comments from anyone in the audience on this application? On the application, please call the roll.
Chambers? Banks? You're voting on a conditional use for a hotel. Blasco?
Yes.
Foster? Yes. Phillips?
Yes.
Wallace?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Chairman Clifton?
Yes. Your application was approved. See Mr. Spencer, and he can tell you what to do next. Thank you. Item number 12 is rezone, case 2024-30, rezone from C6 to a PUD application to allow parking for a hotel at 118 East Washington and 110 North Popular Street. Is the applicant here for the record?
Yes, I'm still here.
Mr. Chambers, or Mr. Pinell with Thomas Engineering?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you have general information. Do you approve of that from the staff?
Yes, we have.
Okay, the staff summary, and this has also been debated for the past 3 months or so. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this application? Any comments from any of the commissioners? On the application, please call the roll.
White?
Yes.
Wallace?
Yes.
Phillips? Foster? Yes. Chambers?
Yes.
Blasco?
Yes.
Banks? Yes. Chairman Clifton?
Yes, your application was approved. See Mr. Spencer, and he can tell you what to do next. Thank you. Item number 13, rezone case 2024-31, rezoning from C6 to a PUD application to allow parking for a hotel at 118 East Washington and 120 South Popular Street. You have been submitted a copy of the conditions, and you approve of those.
Yes, sir, we do.
You see the summary from the staff. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this application? Any comments from any of the commissioners? On the application, please call the roll.
Banks? Yes. Blasco?
Yes.
Chambers?
Yes.
Foster? Phillips?
Yes.
Wallace?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
And Chairman Clifton?
Yes, your application was approved. See Mr. Spencer, and he can tell you what to do next. Thank you. Mr. Chambers?
That was item 13.
That was item 14.
No, that was item 13.
13?
On the two satellite parking lot, or on the satellite parking lot?
Okay, we'll go to item, that was item 13. So you are item 14.
site plan review development at 118 East Washington Avenue. Present, read items 1 through 15 in subsection design review committee recommends.
Okay, does the applicant approve of the conditions of the site plan review committee?
Yes, sir.
Okay, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this application? Any comments from any of the commissioners? All in favor of the application as submitted, aye? Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Mr. Chambers?
Items 15 and 16 are combined in this report. SD 24-74 Market Plaza Lot A1 and SD 2024-75 Original City of Argenta Lots 11 through 12 Block 9 for off-site parking to serve a hotel at 118 East Washington Avenue East Washington at 1110 North Poplar Street, 120 South Poplar Street. Applicants present, read items 1 through 15 in subsection. Design review committee recommends approval.
Okay, you have been submitted a copy of the recommendations from site plan review. Do you have any comments on that?
No, sir.
Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this application? Are there any comments from any of the commissioners? On the application as submitted, all in favor, aye? Aye. Opposed?
No.
Thank you. Your application was approved. See Mr. Spencer, and he can tell you what to do next. That concludes the agenda meeting today. Mr. Chambers?
Yes, just.
It will go to city council as a special use.
Okay,
So
satellite parking, which was originally to be rezoned, but it was withdrawn from our.
correct.
Rather than come back to us for special use, because I think it's going straight to city council for their consideration.
Correct, with the same site plan, so it's gonna look exactly as we reviewed it, but instead of being a PUD rezoning, it will be a special use, and the property will stay the same zone.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure that the planning commission knew that was happening rather than seeing something done otherwise. Well, we didn't know that.
But it should look it's the exact same drawing, so.
I'm supporting it.
Okay. Mr. White?
On, like what Mr. Chambers does and what we do, stuff like that, and this is a small thing, but I changed my home and changed my office. It says that it has to be sodded, fertilized, watered, and mulched. And on this one, it says it can be shredded bark or stone. Is there any way we can add in there decorative stone always? Because I'm seeing even the city of North Little Rock on McCain, instead of using mulch, because mulch you have to replace every year. I went to my house, I took out all the mulch, I put decorative rocks down, and I don't have to do it every year. I think it would be something that people should be aware of, that they don't have to use mulch, that they can use decorative stuff,
We
but
can
not
add
gravel.
that.
Can you look?
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
that's an easy one.
Thank you. I'm through.
I'm listening for a motion.
Move. So moved.
Motion made and seconded. We be adjourned. All in favor, aye? Aye. Thank you all very much.
Donna, can I end it over here? Or do you have to